Hello everyone and welcome to Clothesline Podcast, a wrestling podcast straight from Cologne, Israel, where we talk about anything and everything there is to talk about in the world of professional wrestling. And just like Monday Night Raw had its season premiere less than 24 hours ago, we now also have our own season premiere, where we'll start to give our thoughts and opinions on wrestling TV shows, pay-per-views from various organizations, WWE, AEW, New Japan, Impact, Ring of Honor, and so much more. We will also be covering news stories that come out for all of your enjoyment, and I do hope you enjoy, like, and subscribe to our various channels. We are available on Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Audible, and of course on YouTube, where we will be adding more content very, very soon. So, let's start things off with our review of the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. First thing I gotta say, when you compare the season premiere of Raw to SmackDown's, it's a whole lot better. It's a different ballgame. In its season premiere, SmackDown had an opening segment that was around 30 minutes, and if you had commercial time, almost 45 minutes for an opening segment. That's insane. That's insane! And also, the show itself only had 4 matches. When you compare it to Raw, it had an opening segment of 11 minutes, and it had 7 matches overall, even though it's a longer show, I know, but still, it was a much more entertaining show than what SmackDown had to offer. The show started off with Big E, of course, welcoming the crowd to Monday Night Raw. We're in Houston, Texas, and he's happy to be there. He congratulates his best friend, Xavier Woods, on becoming King Xavier. That was awesome. And then we get the entire rundown. Seth Rollins comes out to challenge Big E. Then Rey Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Kevin Owens. There's a whole schmuzz going on, the big brawl, and Sonya Deville comes out and announces there will be a 4-way ladder match as the main event of the show, and the winner will face Big E for the WWE Championship at a later date. I think it was a huge announcement, a great opening segment. Does anyone remember the last time WWE started a show without an opening segment and just started with a match? I can barely remember. I think it was years ago. Maybe I'm mistaken. If you do know, let me know in the comments below. The show started off proper with a match between the Street Profits taking on the Dirty Dogs, taking on the Alpha Academy in a triple threat match where the winner would face RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team titles later on. Good opening match, but the ending came when the Street Profits got attacked by Omos, and that in turn allowed the Dirty Dogs to pin the Street Profits, win the match, and they will meet RK Bro later on in the show for the Raw Tag Team titles. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, oh no, why the Dirty Dogs? It should have been the Street Profits, it should have been the Alpha Academy, but actually this match makes a lot of sense. And here's my explanation for this. Number one, if the Street Profits and the Alpha Academy had won this match, then they would have to face RK Bro while they already had a match. So that's a disadvantage. Number two, the Street Profits were protected because Omos attacked them before getting pinned, and the Alpha Academy wasn't even involved in the pinfall, so they're also safe. So if you want to dispose or dispense of a tag team in this situation, it should have been the Dirty Dogs. So in my opinion, it's a good booking decision, good match. Dirty Dogs win, and they will face Randy Orton and Matt Riddle later on. And don't worry about the Street Profits, and don't worry about the Alpha Academy. They will get their title shots, and it will be in a bigger venue, in a better feud, in a better scenario that truly showcases both of these tag teams, in my opinion. We move on to the coronation of Queen Zelena, which apparently now have a British accent, but not all the time. I don't know, was she supposed to have a British accent through the entire segment, or it just slipped up? Anyways, it was pretty funny. She announces herself as Queen Zelena, of course. She is now Queen of the Ring, or the Queen's Crown, whatever you want to call it. And she announces she'll be a fair queen, beautiful queen. I like the segment. I like the Zelena character. I was ecstatic when she won the Queen's Crown tournament. And after the coronation, she is confronted by Doudrop, and we have a match. Now, here we come to the point that really bothered me throughout this episode. The show had 7 matches overall. 3 of them were more than 3 minutes. The rest of them were less than 3 minutes, or at least 3 minutes long. That's absurd. Zelena Vega versus Doudrop was about 2.5 minutes long. It was actually a pretty decent match, and I'm just sorry that it didn't get more time in the ring. The ending came when Zelena Vega tried to take off the top turnbuckle, and the referee stopped her. He tries to put it back on. Then, because of that distraction, she takes her scepter, hits it on Doudrop's head, and she wins the match. A very clever way to finish the matchup, in my opinion. It was a good match, but it was too short. They deserve more time in the ring. Next up, we had a segment with Becky the Man Lynch, the new Raw Women's Champion. It is a new reign, right? It doesn't actually continue the SmackDown reign. This is a brand new reign, and it's acknowledged as a new reign, which is absurd, but whatever. So she talks about the Raw Women's Division. She name drops Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, which was a good step in the right direction because I want to see those two back in the title picture. When Bianca Belair shows up, she confronts her, and here's the thing, folks. I had a problem with this entire feud between Becky and Bianca because throughout the feud, Bianca was portrayed as a chump because she got defeated in 26 seconds. Becky, who is supposed to be the heel, was to me actually showcased as a very clever veteran because she was able to dethrone Bianca in 26 seconds, taking advantage of the situation. And throughout the segments and the interviews on SmackDown, it seemed to me like Bianca is being portrayed as a crybaby. Thus, she's supposed to be the heel in the situation. Finally, after all that time, over 2 months, she comes to Raw, she faces Becky Lynch, and she finally gives a promo that showcases her as a proper face, and Becky is the undoubtable heel. They have a schmuzz, they go at it. Becky announces that they will have a rematch for the championship. It will be next week. And if I were a betting man, which I'm not, so don't gamble, kids, I would bet that Bianca would beat Becky for the title, and then we would have Becky versus Charlotte at Survivor Series if we're doing the whole concept of best of the best thing. That's just my opinion. Next matchup is another 3-minute long match between the United States Champion Damien Priest in a non-title contenders match against TBar. Damien Priest with a whole new entrance, whole new theme song, and even though the match was short, it did serve its purpose because it shows us that Damien Priest now has a new persona. Because when you look at the screen, he has this imagery of heaven and hell. So he's an angel and a devil in disguise. So throughout the match, he's a babyface. TBar gets disqualified after he throws a chair in Damien's face. And from there, Damien goes insane. He goes bananas. He throws a tantrum. He starts attacking TBar with the chair. He attacks him in the ring. He does his finishing move. The referee tries to stop it. And that's your new persona, folks. Damien Priest is a babyface, but then something happens. He snaps. And then he turns into this devil guy. So that is why the whole imagery of heaven and hell, I'm guessing this goes towards a heel turn. Because I don't see Damien Priest continues to be a face in this kind of persona situation, which is not a bad move. I mean, Damien Priest was a heel in NXT, and he was a pretty good one. But now, let's see what happens when he's a heel on Raw. We get a promo from Carmella, which is followed by her entrance with a new theme song. It's like a new theme song show for everyone. I think Keith Lee also gets a new theme song. And she has a match with Liv Morgan. They had like 6,521 matches on SmackDown against each other. And they're having another match tonight. Why? I mean, it was an okay match. Another 3-minute classic. They deserve better. But enough is enough. I mean, this is a whole new brand. We don't need to see the same matches over and over again, even if it's on a different brand. Even if it's on a different brand, it doesn't class as something new. Something new is actually bringing us something new, like Liv Morgan against, I don't know, even Dana Brooke. Anything else. I have nothing against both competitors. I got nothing against Carmella. I got nothing against Liv Morgan. I just want to see them get more opportunities to showcase themselves against different opponents. Not the same opponent every single freaking time. There's a cool spot where Liv Morgan planted Carmella's face into the announcer's table right next to Corey Graves, and then she turns to him and says, "Congratulations on your engagement." That thing completely broke kayfabe. Both announcers next to Corey Graves heckle him. It was funny. And then Carmella wins with a nice version of the X Factor. I like that version. So she wins, and please, for the love of God, let this end. I like both competitors. I like Liv. I like Carmella. Nothing against them. But I don't ever want to see them in a match against each other ever again for at least a year. Next up, we got another short match. It's Keith Bearcat Lee with a new theme song against Cedric Alexander representing the Hurt Business. He is accompanied by Shelton Benjamin. And here's a big question. Why? Why did they change Keith Lee's gimmick? It's nothing against the Bearcat thing, but you know, he's a heel. He tries to be a heel, and he's not a heel. And he's trying to act like a heel, like a big man heel. And I just don't see it. It just doesn't work. He demolishes Cedric Alexander into about 2.5 minutes. But still, why? I mean, he was a good babyface. And why limit the limitless Keith Lee? He wins in 2.5 minutes with the Big Bang Catastrophe, if I'm not mistaken. And that's pretty much it. Next up, we got a segment backstage with Austin Theory and the Mysterios, where Austin wants to take a selfie with Ray. He accepts, and he asks Dominic to take the picture for him. He's insulted that they have a match. Another 3-minute classic, which is a shame because I like both guys, and I think both of them have a lot to showcase if they have the proper time to showcase it in the ring. On the 3-minute mark, Austin Theory wins, and he goes for the selfie thing, and that's his shtick now, and it's a pretty good shtick. We get the announcement that Veer is coming to Raw. Veer, the guy that was with Jinder Mahal and Shanky on Raw, is coming to Raw. What's the point? What's the point in this? We move on to the Raw Tag Team title match. RK Bro defending against the Dirty Dogs, and this was a really good match. This was a really good match, a good decent match. There was a spot in the match where Matt Riddle goes for his patent kick to the head, but he misses, but he's able to rebound and then nail a V-trigger. That was awesome. That was a good save by Matt Riddle. And then the ending came when he rolls up Dolph Ziggler for the 3, and they retain the Tag Team Championship. Now, assuming that Omos and AJ are out of the title picture, because I'm guessing they'll be feuding with the Street Profits, who's left? Maybe the Alpha Academy, where maybe they'll finally win those tag team titles? I wish. Seth Rollins is backstage with a promo saying it is time because he is the visionary, the revolutionary Seth frickin' Rollins. Afterwards, we get an announcement on Twitter that Lashley says that he'll be back to annihilate anyone on Raw because he is the Almighty. And just because he was defeated by Goldberg on a house show in Saudi Arabia doesn't mean he's out of the title picture yet. In my opinion, at least. And then we move on to the main event. An about 18-minute match, 4-way ladder match between Rey Mysterio, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins. This was a good match. Maybe not the greatest ladder match, but still a great ladder match nonetheless. Kevin Owens, the workhorse of the match, he went through 3 ladders. Is Kevin Owens alright? I'm hoping that he's okay, because going through not 1, not 2, but 3 ladders, that is painful. I can only imagine the amount of pain Kevin Owens is in, and I hope he's okay. There's another spot where Rey Mysterio goes through a table, and the ending came when Finn Balor, who apparently injured his ankle, I don't know if he was selling it or if it was legit, climbed the ladder. Seth Rollins stops him, able to curb stops him, and he grabs the contract. He is now the #1 contender for the WWE Championship against Big E. Good decision. I'm just wondering when exactly this feud is going to begin, because with Survivor Series, will they have the match before? Will they have the match afterwards? Because they're going for the best of the best thing. So do we want to see Big E versus Roman Reigns, or do we want to see Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns? man, both options are really, really good, but I don't want to see Big E losing the WWE Championship this fast. So we'll just have to wait and see. Overall, this was a good episode of Raw, I gotta say. Even with the short matches, this is probably the only down point throughout the show. That they had 7 matches, and 4 of them were 3 minutes long or less. That is just a shame. They deserve better than that. But nonetheless, it was a good show. Good debuts by various wrestlers we haven't seen in a long time. I gotta say, I'm intrigued by the whole change in persona for Damien Priest. Maybe he's gonna be turning heel, I don't know. And also a very good solid main event and a much better season premiere than Friday Night SmackDown, which I hope will not disappoint this coming week. So, that is our review. Now we would like to hear from you. Let us know in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with our opinion? Did you like Monday Night Raw? Did you like the season premiere? And also, if you want to stay notified when we're uploading these videos, hit a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification button if you're on YouTube. If you're following us on podcasts, so we're on Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and so much more. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you next time on another Clothesline Podcast review. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening.